Game 1 went over to Will Harrod. You see right now, it might be close to the end here. We have a Nahiri on 8 on Will's side. That is, all right, that's a threat.
That's okay.
Ali has one Nahiri under a detention sphere. We're seeing if he can get the second one off the table. There are 6 lands in play for Ali and 7 in play for Will. Snapcaster Mage from Ali. Looks like we're on Will's end step. Nothing in the graveyard for Ali. This is a 2-1.
A little Coral Merfolk.
And we go back to Ali. He plays land 7. Goes to attacks. Here's Electrolyze. Will's going to try to protect his Nahiri. Ali at the ready with a Dispel.
Ton of cards in hand for Will.
Will's got a Dispel of his own. And Ali has another Dispel.
Ali also sitting on Logic Knot.
And another Electrolyze from Will. How about that one? And it's Logic Knot from Ali. All right, big counter war here, all over a 2-1. Ali wins the counter war.
He wins the battle. I think he's well behind in the war yet.
It means Nahiri will take a hit from the Snapcaster and she will drop to 6. But now Will untaps with his opponent tapped down to just 2 mana.
So this is interesting. Will has Spell Snare in hand. It just elected not to counter the Snapcaster Mage, even though it had no targets. I think given the multiple copies of Electrolyze and the Dispel, the play is totally reasonable, but it was something he could have considered.
Yeah, Will uses the Nahiri, ticks her down to 4 to just exile away the Snapcaster Mage, and he goes back to work here in the control mirror. Ali lost a ton of resources in that fight.
Yep.
Will still has Cryptic Command and Spell Snare left over. You have to think he likes where he is.
And he still has Nahiri hanging out.
There is that.
I really like Will's position here.
That Detention Sphere is a 1-of in Ali's sideboard. If you look at his main deck, he doesn't have ways to interact with resolved Planeswalkers.
So before we cut to Nahiri on 8, I wanted to talk about this matchup in terms of Esper Control being kind of this ham-fisted, overpower you kind of control deck, where Jeskai and other blue decks in Modern have more finesse, and when the matches actually play out, I've seen finesse conquer the more powerful deck time and again, just off of being more efficient and having really efficient ways to interact, even with more powerful things out of the Esper deck. But then we also just turned into Nahiri being super good for the Jeskai deck.
I mean, Ali is... Will took his turn to suspend Ancestral Visions, and it looks like Ali on end step is attempting to bounce his own Detention Sphere and draw a card. Will win Cryptic, Ali's Cryptic, and counter draw off it. That just works.
Yep.
Oh boy. Path left in Ali's hand. He plays Celestial Colonnade and says go.
Will still hanging out with the Ghost Quarter though. Colonnade looks great until you factor that in.
Draw there from Will. Looks like a copy of Keranos, God of Storms.
We saw a discard a Spell Snare because Will has another Spell Snare in hand. Things are real bad for Ali.
Yeah, this powerful control deck in Esper controlled seems great from Ali, as long as he makes sure Nahiri never resolves.
Tall order.
It's possible. You see he's got Thoughtseizes in his sideboard, but it's such a disaster if one does. And down a game, the Esper Mage looks like he may fall to the core Planeswalker. Here comes Colonnade at Nahiri. It actually works. 4 damage in.
Oh, wow, yeah. Will tapped the Ghost Quarter to cast Keranos.
Ooh. So a misstep there from Will. I don't think it's going to cost him.
Yeah.
But Ali's on borrowed time now.
The end of that sentence was to cast Keranos.
Right.
If you've ever played against Keranos as a blue deck,
it
feels terrible.
Yeah. And not just cast resolve Keranos.
Yes.
And Ali has no way to get Keranos off the board either. There was a fail to find there from Will on that fetch. He'll draw off Keranos, he'll draw Lightning Helix, and he'll deal 3. And here he works her way back up toward 8. Will discarding Lightning Helix, drawing Emrakul. Bit of a downgrade. It's okay, next turn we'll take care of that.
Yeah, they're both fair cards to discard.
And now we see on Ollie's side, he has a copy of Esper Charm. Unclear what he even can draw off it.
Yeah, he needs to string together multiple things. He can start using Cryptic Command to kind of catch up on the board, but he needs to have a way to deal with Nahiri and Keranos on the way back down, not to mention the looming threat of Ancestral Vision with 2 suspend counters.
I will fetch. I like how much card advantage. You know, cards like Think Twice and Esper Charm seem really sweet in this matchup.
Sweet's a good word. It's really interesting when I get to playing these decks. Like, I've played against various Esper builds with Grixis Delver, and it looks like I should just be outclassed on every angle.
Yeah, this guy who's registering 4 Think Twice, 4 Esper Charm. You look at that and you think, oh, I don't want to play against that, right?
Yeah, but then in practice, I've just seen Esper lose blue mirrors time and again.
It's just that these cards, and correct me if I'm wrong here, Ollie's going to cast Esper Charm to draw 2, is that while these cards are, like, the theory behind them is solid. Instant speed card draw is going to be excellent in Control Mirror. Yep. But it's not just about what a card does, it's also about just the straight raw power of a card. The question, how good is this card? And Think Twice is 5 mana for 2 cards. And Esper Charm is 3 mana for 2 cards.
Yeah, and what it boils down to
your
is
cards
rate.
just aren't as... The problem is that you are playing too many cards that just aren't as good. And that adds up eventually.
Yeah, they're too expensive for what they do.
You know, Will is snap casting lightning bolts, and Ollie is casting Esper Charm for the same cost. You say, you know, I want the Snapcaster.
Yeah.
All right, so Lingering Souls was the play from Ollie. He only played the first half. We go back to Will. He discards an Emrakul to his Nahiri. He also had a lightning bolt there off the Keranos. He shot down a Spirit Token.
Yep, so if Will chooses to, he'll be pretty good at keeping Nahiri alive to ultimate on the following turn.
Yeah, he has a lightning bolt and Helix in hand. Nahiri's at 8. He also, I believe, has a mana leak to back them all up.
And on the following turn, that's when Ancestral Vision comes off.
Oh, yeah, one of those that you even forget about it, right? But yeah, he will get 3 more cards. We go back to Aintrazi. He drew Think Twice. He'll try to cash it in immediately. Here's a card. That'll work. Draws another fetch land. That's no help.
I love that expression on Aintrazi's face with Think Twice on this stack. Like, daring Will to counter it? No, there's no way that's going to happen. Just pick up your card.
Ollie flashes it back, and now Will goes for the Spell Snare.
Now that you tap 5 mana, all right.
Classy move. I love when they countering something they paid 3 mana with a Spell Snare.
Yeah, that's solid.
Well, now Ollie has not enough mana to activate Colonnade, so he'll go with the Spirit Token at Nahiri. He knows about the Helix. Will cast it. Spirit down. Will up to 15. Nahiri. Will untap with an 8 loyalty Nahiri. Ollie flashing back his copy of Lingering Souls. 2 more spirits.
And if Will is able to use Keranos to bolt one of these spirits, he has Lightning Bolt backup to clean him up and make Emrakul lethal here.
Well, here's the Ancestral Visions. Dispel, Sulfur Falls.
Oh, he may have actually missed his Keranos trigger here.
Yeah, it looks like he did. We'll get a judge ruling on that. I don't think, once again, I don't think it's going to catch him. Yep.
Yeah.
Trigger was ruled as missed.
He started drawing cards off of Vision. Yeah. The Keranos triggers at the same time.
I mean, I understand getting excited about a draw 3.
Yeah. Personally, I'm also excited about 3 damage.
That'll happen. In time, we'll get around to that. Not actually enough removal to clear the way through those spirits here from Will. He's got, looks like 3 counter spells and a lightning bolt.
Annihilator 6 isn't bad here, though.
No. It probably wins the game.
Yeah, and if you can't deal with the spirits, they're going to start clocking your Nahiri anyway.
Oh, look. Oh, he's thinking about going up with the Nahiri.
That's an option.
We just want it all. Will, you don't know that Ollie only plays 1 Detention Sphere.
The plus...
You don't know. It's true, but you don't know that.
The plus is probably the correct play, but I want to see an Emrakul.
I guess, Ollie, that tapped stack of lands is 7 lands. It was the Think Twice, the Flashback, and the Souls.
Yeah.
So Niall, all right. Well, Will's going to cash in. Here comes Emrakul.
Yeah, there's really not bad lines that Will has. Just activate abilities, tap lands, do things.
Well, I mean, let's be fair. Karanos is still here for the rest of the game.
Yep.
All right, so attack with Emrakul. It's the 15-15. Here's the attack. Annihilator 6. Ollie's going to lay out 6 lands. Cleverly, Ollie started playing fetch lands there and not cracking them in anticipation of Emrakul.
Yep, just sacrifice those.
So he's going to lose 7 permanents as he's going to have to chump block the Emrakul. You see he's got 5 lands in his hand. Looks like he'll go all 6 of his sacrifices will be lands.
And he leaves himself on blue and white mana because he has a Drowned Catacomb in hand here.
Okay, that makes sense. Black cards in this deck. Esper Charm is the only black card in the main.
Lingering Souls flashback.
Lingering Souls is out of the sideboard.
Sure. I mean, he can't.
It's a
he has
2-of.
it. Yeah, he's maybe out his Lingering Souls already.
No, you said that, and I was like, oh, I missed that. And I'm like, let's wait. No, it's not in the main. Okay. Ali, you crazy mage.
I like it better than several of these main deck cards, but
these 2 secure the wastes. Ali Aintrazi's great. Remember,
he plays on his terms. Make no mistake about that.
Yeah. A 2nd place finish in Standard just in the last month.
Yeah, with just the weirdest Sultai control
Yeah,
deck.
here's some Sultai cards I like. I'm going to win with them. Karanos shows an Ancestral Visions and shoots down the last Spirit token. Then will suspend it. Ali draws, plays a land. We're going to see how much longer does Ali want to do this dance. I suppose, yeah. He's down a game, so he can't even play for the draw. He's got to play for a win here, and I don't really know how that happens. Here's Karanos, 3 more damage up at Ali. Snapcaster Mage from Aintrazi. Will check out the graveyard before he decides how much counter magic to use here. See, Will has found the Emrakul again. That's
perfect. These Jeskai decks actually incapable of ever hard casting Emrakul.
Oh, right, no, it came back off the Jeskai. Oh, right, we already found it. He didn't draw it. It came back.
Yeah. Though until he finds another Nahiri, it's just going to be hanging
Yeah.
out.
All right, Snapcaster's fine. Will then draws a Snapcaster Mage. Now he'll bolt Ollie's 2-1. Ollie's going to attempt to cast the Esper Charm he had given flashback to, but Will dispel.
Will is so far ahead on cards that just fight over everything.
Here's a main phase Sphinx's Revelation from Ollie saying, yeah, well, let's see. Nope, mana leak.
Got all these mana leaks. Got to cast them at something, right?
Ancestral Vision's down to 2. Karanos shows Ghost Quarter. Will draws it, then gets a Colonnade. Hey, there's a win condition.
There we go. Put Ollie out of his misery already.
Both keep playing here. Ollie will go for an Esper Charm. Maybe draw some cards. Will at this point is not going to let Ollie resolve anything.
Nope. No reason to.
So Jeskai Nahiri, the Jeskai control deck, it's been dominant on the SCG Tour in our first 2 Modern Opens of this season. Fallen out of favor a bit on Magic Online. I was really surprised to see that happen. I think this deck's great, and I don't know when it ever stopped being great. And I'm watching it here, and it looks great.
So consider the measure by which Will is ahead in this match, and then think about it being equal and opposite against Dredge. Like, convert those cards in hand to creatures on the battlefield.
Dredge is the new kid on the block.
Yes.
And that's cool. And I mean, but it's still no more than 5, 6, 7% of the meta.
Sure.
I understand where if Dredge gets really big, I mean, whatever, Jeskai will play some rest in pieces. But it's not enough. You know, people will frequently ask me, what's the best deck in Modern? And, you know, I play Valakut, but I never answer Valakut. My answers right now, I would say, when I tell people, I'd say Jeskai, Infect, maybe Bant Eldrazi.
Sure.
I'm fine with all those answers. You know, what people say, what should I play at the next tournament? So I think all 3 of those are very good.
Okay.
I don't know why I haven't seen Jeskai be bad yet. I don't know. Games like this are just dominant. And you see Will Harrod 2-0 is your winner over Ali Aintrazi. A lightning bolt seals the deal.